So over here at StART today, we also came across Mike, and Mike runs a coffee bar. Tell us about your coffee bar, Mike.
There's a couple actually. One's called Artisan Roast, and that was the first place we started down on YSB, down Jalan Ampang Hilir direction. There's another one opposite KLCC, pretty easy to find, and that's in Wisma Equity. That's called Raw Coffee. And the third one that we run is in Haven Cafe. We've got a kiosk there. But we also supply coffee, because we roast coffee. We supply coffee to Molly Dukas, to Viva Mocha, and to Fat Spoons. And all very good cafes. We only supply people who take their coffee very, very seriously. So those are the people we supply at the moment.
Okay, now come tell us some of the serious things we ought to know about coffee. Well, I mean, you've got all the standard coffees. You have got everybody dying for a Nescafe over here, which is like fully plagued with milk and sugar over here. And then what do we need to know about good coffee? Tell us about good coffee.
I'm glad you asked me that question, Gene. Here I have some green coffee. Okay, so if we get a little close-up on the green coffee, yeah. So these beans, they're all quite even. They've all been grown at a high altitude, and they've got really good flavors to them. Now, see this bean here? This bean here has been caught in some equipment, and it's called a nipper. It's a mild defect. It's not that bad. But most coffee you get has a lot of defects. Some of these beans will be black, there'll be stones and sticks, and there'll be sours and phenotypes, all sorts of defects in the beans. Now that's 98% of coffee. This coffee is from the top 2% of coffee. So most of the coffee that's sold in the world is from the 98, obviously. And that coffee is not as healthy for you, and also doesn't taste so good. What they usually do to mask the flavors that you get with the defects is to roast it up to a high level. Now, I'm not saying all high roasted coffee is bad, but most of it is. This allows us, having the good coffee allows us to roast at a lower level. What that means is we can get more taste, more flavor out of the coffee. Instead of just the carbony, burnt coffee flavor, we can have more taste. We can have acidic tastes, sweet tastes, and bitter tastes. Most coffee is just bitter, and you add your sugar. Yeah. With our coffee, we can have all three of those. Now, when I'm talking about sweet, I'm not talking about Malaysian sweet here. I'm talking about natural sweetness from the bean. What I'm hoping is that people will be able to drink our coffee without sugar. Not all Malaysians can, but those that can, they really enjoy our coffee for that reason. We're actually trying to help Malaysians beat diabetes through roasting our coffee to lower levels.
So you've obviously done your research, and you've obviously come across the coffee over at the Mamat shops. You know the Mamat shops, or the restaurants? Yeah, the kopitiam. Okay.
There's nothing wrong, I might say. There's nothing wrong with this style of coffee. It's just a different style of coffee. You've got your kopitiam is generally Robusta coffee. You know the kopi o? That's the coffee without all the margarine, corn, and barley that they usually grind up and mix with and sugar. They usually mix with the coffee before it's ground and served. So you've already got that in it. The kopi o doesn't have that in it, so that's a sort of a grade up from that. But then you got the grade up where you get into just the straight coffee beans like Arabica coffee, but that could be still full of defects. Then you got your Starbucks style of coffee, which is another grade up, and then another whole grade on top of that. We've got this style of coffee. And what's really exciting for me at the moment is there's a lot of new roasteries starting up in KL. You've got Espresso Lab. There's a little place called Cafe Famille. There's Antipodean. There's another place called New Black. There's a whole lot of new places. The BIG. They've started roasting coffee, and most of them are using really good coffee beans, along with us from Raw Coffee. So I'm finding that a very exciting thing here in Malaysia. And I'm hoping that that's going to really take off, as it has taken off in places like London, Melbourne, New York, etc.
And where are we going to see more of Mike's coffee in the future? Where are we going to see more of your coffee? How are we going to get to your website to find out more?
Well, you can just Google the best coffee in Malaysia, or or you can go look up Artisan Roast. We've got a website there, artisanroast.com.my, or www.rawcoffee.my. And also we're going to have a new cafe starting in Taman Tun early next year, which we're constructing at the moment.
We're wishing you all the best and happy coffee, my man.